Hi, this is Heather with Especially Paper. Today we're making little miniature daffodils as cupcake toppers. Super cute, great project for spring. I'm going to show you how to get this project set up in Cricut Design Space. But if you don't use Cricut or you just don't need this part of the tutorial, then just skip ahead a little bit and you'll get to the project assembly. First of all, upload your file to Cricut Design Space. Click on the upload icon in the bottom of the left nav and browse to find the file on your computer. Do make sure that you're selecting the SVG file type. The DXF file is for Silhouette Studio users. And before you save the file, note that the score lines are in aqua. So they actually won't appear in aqua once you place the shape on the canvas. So it's good to take a note now so you can quickly see what needs to be switched to a score line. So save the shape, then select it, and insert images in the bottom right. Now that the file is placed, it's important to know that Cricut automatically groups SVG files. All the shapes in the file are grouped together. So you need to right-click and select Ungroup so that you can select individual pieces. Next, we need to change the score lines to a score. So you can see that's the shape that's on top. So for the leaf, we're going to change these two lines. So go ahead and select that, and in the upper left, switch the line type from cut to score. And do the same thing for the score lines on the petals. Now this step is really important. You need to make sure to select the petal shape and the score lines and attach them. And do the same for the leaf. If you don't do that, when you send the shape to the cutting mat, it's going to separate those shapes. Now, first up, I'm going to cut my petals first on yellow paper. So in the right panel, hide the leaf shape. Now go to make it, and I know that I can fit 20 of the flower shapes. So just change project copies to 20 and hit apply. And then you can change the material size. I'm using 8.5 by 11. Now you're ready to cut. So go ahead and hit continue in the lower right. And once the options come up, you'll want to select copy paper if that's what you're using. And then you'll need to load the score tool first. So from here, just follow the instructions that you see on the screen. The machine will cut all the score lines. Then you'll need to swap tools to do the cuts. Now that the petals and cones are cut, I'm going to go back and cut the leaves. So I'm going to turn the leaf back on by clicking on the eye icon and hide the petals and the center cone. The leaf, I can fit the very odd number of 47 on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And switch your material size. Now why for me Cricut didn't place a leaf in that empty spot, I cannot tell you. But I just know that that's what worked for me, is to cut 47. Maybe for you, it will fill in that space and cut 48. To get started with assembly, pick up a cone piece and use a tool. I'm using a bone folder to add a little bit of curl to this piece. It's just going to make it easier to form it into a cone. Adding glue, and my favorite glue is this quick dry adhesive from Scotch. And just form that into a loop. Lining up the tabs, make sure the bottom of this cone is even. And you can use your tool to kind of hold things in place. Give it just long enough to adhere. So one of the things I like about this glue is that it does dry really quickly.
So then fold down the little top tabs. All right. Now that the cone of your daffodil is formed, add a thin line of glue around the bottom. Now just place it right in the center of one of the petal pieces. Set that aside to dry. Got one here that's already dry. And use your bone folder to add some curl to the petals. So just start with the widest part of the petal and pull it between your tool and your thumb and apply gentle pressure to create that curve. It's a lot like curling gift ribbon. Okay. And just fold the petals up. All right, and now I'm going to use 2 leaves for 1 pick. Fold on the score line. Then use your tool to add a little bit of curve to the leaf. Now the toothpicks I'm using are called fancy toothpicks. You can find them in the grocery store. These ones I actually got from a place online called Pickle and Us. They're a little bit longer than the ones you find in the grocery store, but either work just fine. Slide the toothpick into the X in the flower and just slide it up until it catches on one of those ridges. Slide on your leaves. And move them up so that you have plenty of room at the bottom of the pick to add it to your cupcake or whatever treat you're adding this to. And that's it.
If you enjoy paper crafts, visit especiallypaper.com for templates, tutorials, and other paper craft projects.